Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A quick break after a pretty close game between.
Don't worry, guys.
And
We only have 2 people in the
Yeah,
game.
we've got 2 broadcasters this time. Yeah, sorry about that. We know that there was a flamer in the broadcaster slot. He was tagged up and someone incognito.
I'm a flamer.
Merlini, the
there
flamer
are 2
Merlini.
flamers.
An additional flamer. Oh man, I can only imagine how the Dota TV sounded to all y'all out there.
I don't think I flamed that hard that game.
You didn't flame as hard as that guy, at least. So
Okay.
that's something you've got.
What
going
if I
for
wanted
you.
to be title of most flamer?
Well,
flaming flamer.
Maybe you could be the most. You could be the official flamer. He was very unofficial in his approach,
Okay.
but still a flamer
Nice.
nonetheless. Either way, guys, we've altered some passwords and changed some things around, so it shouldn't be an issue anymore. Everyone's on the lookout. So sorry about that, but
On to this next game.
yeah, on to the next game. Once they were in the slot that last game, we knew about it, but there's nothing you can do once the game is started. So onward. No Earthspirit versus Revenge.
This is a really important game, even if it doesn't look like it.
Okay.
If you look at it like, oh, whatever, Revenge versus no Earthspirit. But Revenge, they played Sna, they played Liquid, they played NAR, 3 losses. No, wait, they actually they beat Sna.
Yes.
So they have 3 losses, 2 of them from those 2 teams, from 2 of those 3 teams, and 1 loss from somewhere else. So they're 2-3 right now. They play 5 weak teams because they've already played the 3 strong teams, so they can actually finish up 7-3.
Yes.
So current standing in terms of points, they've actually haven't played as many games as a lot of the other teams. For example, we have Team Liquid who've played 7 games. Revenge only playing. Oh,
5.
they actually lost their last game. Oh no.
Oh, well, we got updated stats. Who did they
lost,
just lose to?
They lost versus CNB, I believe.
Oh, they needed that.
Oh, they needed that.
All right.
They still can potentially make it. I think 6-4 has a shot, maybe with tiebreaker.
So right now they're 2-4. Revenge have to win every single one of their games to have a chance at a tiebreaker to make it in 4th or 3rd slot.
If they lose this, though, they're probably done,
So from now on, every game Revenge is in, it needs to be a win if they want a chance. And this is the first step on that gauntlet.
So yeah, looking at the playoff picture, Team Liquid,
and it's already done for no Earthspirit. They won't be making top 4. They're 1-5 right now.
So if you're no Earthspirit, do you be like, hey, I'll toss you guys a bone?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe pick a little Mapos, a little
Pride
punch?
is on the line here, Merlini. They want to win. They want to smash down Smash.
Maybe, but aren't you supposed to be generous and
I don't
sacrificial?
know. I don't know. Are you? As an ex-pro player, it
depends on how much you like these teams. If they're friends, then maybe. If you're like South American brothers, well, we're like, hey, we want one of you South American brothers to go through. Then
that's true.
I don't know how close they are. Maybe
I have no.
Maybe it's like
clue.
South American rivalry, but that is something to consider. A little off the book stuff. Maybe they can like bribe them. Hey guys, I'll pay you X amount to lose.
Yeah, somebody just tweeted at us a minute ago. Yeah, they're 2-4. They just lost to CNB.
That is sad.
Getting those updates as they come in.
Well, I blame Liquipedia because I looked at Liquipedia and they didn't update me, so I'm gonna pass it here, even though it's my fault.
Well, I mean, you can only update it so fast. I think it just ended. But let's talk about this draft a little bit. It is well underway. Marana and Shadow Demon, the first 2 picks for no Earthspirit, and Darkseer Shadow. Did I say Shadow Demon? Did I mess that up again? Marana Shadow Shaman for no Earthspirit, and Shadow Demon Darkseer for Revenge. I think I had it wrong the first time, but it's
something
okay.
like that.
We'll move on.
Ooh, Shadow Shaman is a very early picked, and Disruptor again. Disruptor, good versus Marana.
10 seconds.
Decent versus Shadow Shaman. Just good hero. He needs to be picked more.
Yeah.
5
but
seconds
you do need some anti-BKB measures. I think that was the biggest problem with last game's draft. Hopefully, no Earthspirit will not fall into that same trap. Or sorry, Revenge won't fall into that same trap.
Yeah, and there's Wraith King once again. This Wraith King Marana combo is all the rage these days, Merlini.
It's easy. You know, one of the most popular lanes back in the day used to be Sand King and Marana. That was like the go-to dual lane.
Yeah.
Like
I actually
every
remember
single
that.
game. Sand King, Marana. So
what was the end of that? Did somebody get nerfed, or did that just kind of fall out of style?
It was I think they nerfed Blink Dagger.
Oh, okay.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
I believe
A lot of things
curious.
got changed.
Yeah. Like I mentioned that last game, I think it's the
5
slow on
seconds
Wraith King
remaining.
that makes it so particularly potent in the context of the Marana Wraith King duo. And also just the fact that he's
Reserve
tanky
time.
and can run up in the front line.
Yeah, you need a beefy frontliner for Marana because Marana does a lot of damage, but if she uses Leap early in the fight, she has to play super defensive and can't actually do that much damage. So if you have someone all up in their face, like Wraith King, and they have to deal with them, because if you don't, you're just going to get stunned all the time and right-click down with that darn crit. you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't against Wraith King. Because what are you going to do? You're going to trade BKBs versus Reincarn. That's not a good choice.
Yeah.
You're going to let him right-click you. Not a good choice.
Yeah.
You're going to kill him and get Reincarn. That's also a bad choice. And you're going to run away and get chased down. That's also not a good choice.
Don't really have any options. Yeah.
Mana Burn is good. Kiting is also good. There are good
Slows,
options.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay, yeah, I didn't.
Those
that didn't mean to come out the way it sounded,
Oh.
as I said.
there are no options in the ones that I presented, but that doesn't
Yeah,
mean
that's
there aren't others.
exactly. That's
So
sorry, just still distracted dealing with Skype stuff.
you just have to draft it a little bit differently. I think that people should probably look at Anti-Mage a little bit more.
Okay.
Anti-Mage is really good versus Wraith King.
Wow, I haven't seen a single anti-mage game
Yeah,
in the
'cause
matches I've watched.
People don't like to think outside the box and just pick Mirana every freaking game.
Yeah.
So,
much Mirana.
what else is really good versus
5
Necrobooks are really good.
seconds
Any Necrobook hero.
Mm-hmm.
Nyx Assassin is mediocre. Invoker is decent with Quaswex, but he's been
Reserve
banned
time.
out because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
What other things are there versus Wraith King? You can just straight kite him. Things like Icy Vortex from AA are just really annoying.
I think Slark isn't a bad option early on to try and steal some of his stats. His mana pool is so gimp in the early levels. Slark's good against that combo
Yeah.
in general with the Dark Pact, but
at the same time, like Slark can't really blow his cooldowns to kill Wraith King because you don't want to trade.
Yeah.
You don't want to trade Shadow Dance for.
for Reincarnate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that same problem that everyone
But
has.
it's still pretty good. It's not that bad. I think Slark would actually be a really good pickup for Revenge right now because it's really good versus Shadow Shaman and it's really good versus the other two as well. And it's kind of the aggressive carry that they need because they don't really need a farming position 1 or farming safe
10
laner because they already have
seconds
Shadow Fiend. If you have Shadow Fiend, you can go a little bit light on the
Radiant
carry and a little
team
bit
ban.
heavy on the fight.
Mhm.
I was about to say light on the fight, and I was like, no, that doesn't work.
Light on the
You
fight.
don't want to go light on the fight.
Well, look who it is! Centaur War Runner.
Half Friday.
Half Friday,
Just call yourself Centaur Warrior, man.
Shoot. I mean, to be fair, he didn't play in the last game we saw. It was
And they lost.
It was
Big
a
surprise.
Yeah, a brick Centaur. You need the egg roll on the Centaur. It's
Yes.
becoming a thing. I don't know what it is about that player in
10
Hero, but he
seconds
absolutely
remaining.
loves it.
No, Goody really likes it for him. I
Goody
think-
likes it for him. Yeah, maybe that's the
5
way of it.
seconds
Maybe Half Rod
remaining.
Egg Roll actually secretly hates Centaur, and it's Goody is the Centaur
Radiant
fan. It's just
team
like, damn it.
Centaur's really good.
He is good. Well, he's still falling off a little bit, but he's picked an appropriate amount right now. I think I kind of like where
he's
Centaur
not
is.
overrated. He's not underrated. When
Yeah.
he was first picked every game, I was like, this shit's overrated.
Yes, yeah,
But
I agree.
he's about right now.
Now Mirana is the one that's maybe overrated isn't the right word.
I don't know.
but
Mirana's-
she's pretty good.
She's good, but she's counterable. You can deal with her.
Yeah.
She's not like Batrider with 6 point
10
whatever
seconds
patch that
remaining.
was, where he just destroys everybody. It's not like that OP. It's just
5 seconds remaining.
people are still trying to work out how actually to deal with that stinking Moonlight Shadow, deal with the
Dire
arrow
team
stun
pick.
lock, and kill a pseudo blinker. Oh, the tiny last. So it's a little bit of
Whoa.
fight.
Okay, this is interesting from Revenge. Now, didn't you say earlier there was Revenge picked a tiny like this and they
No.
didn't fight? Was that
That
a
was
different
no
team?
Earthspirit.
Oh, that was no Earthspirit. Oh, I'm sorry. So okay.
They need to give Relic a fighter. He is not a farmer. He's a fighter. He's
Yeah.
pretty inefficient in terms of his farm. He also doesn't choose to
10
come into fights at the right
seconds
time.
remaining.
And I think when you're a tempo controller, you prioritize farming a lot
5
less, and the
seconds
decision is a lot easier for him to make. I don't think he's experienced enough to play the farmer
Reserve time.
mids very well.
Okay.
And again, it's a Dragonite. Dragonite's, I think, a farming mid. It's not a tempo controller, which I think Relic is actually really
He
poor
can-
at compared to.
He can be a little bit of a tempo controller. If he gets an early
Yeah, he
Shadow
is.
Blade, he can move around.
His best heroes, I think, are like Puck and Storm, I'd say.
Yeah. I was going to suggest a Storm could be an okay pick here. There's
Storm's
not a
very
huge
bad
amount
versus
of-
Disruptor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was going to say there's not a huge amount of lockdown, but enough that Disruptor is...
Dragonite also matches
fun.
up poorly versus Shadow Fiend. This is the exact same thing. they
yeah,
did
I was
last
going
game.
to say, deja vu all over again.
I know. This is the game that we casted. Or the team that we casted.
Why are they picking a DK into Shadow Fiend?
Because they don't know what they're doing.
It worked kind of okay earlier, but that was because there was a support that rotated in early on. It wasn't a straight 1v1. DK had an early edge over the Shadow Fiend and then used
Yeah.
that momentum to kind of break even with him.
Prepare for
But
battle.
it was Strug City, man. It wasn't easy for the DK.
It's not good.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. I had high hopes
See.
for No Earthspirit. They asked me, what one mid team do you think will make a breakout performance? And I
You-
said ban Earthspirit, and it's
Really?
actually the opposite way.
that was the one. Was it Mott that said ban Earthspirit? He thought that was his take for the
Bottom
the
three.
bottom three. Yeah.
I think I just casted them too much. I'm kind of like attached to them now.
You have. You've become our official ban Earthspirit expert.
I play with a lot of these guys too. I
Yeah.
play with and against Goody a lot in NEL. Bricks I've met a lot in matchmaking. Relic I've met a lot in matchmaking. Knave, I've met occasionally, and half-right egg roll I never heard of, but I've seen a Centaur a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absurd how much he plays Centaur, man. it's almost absurd. Like I would actually love to see some statistics of over the past maybe month player heroes, like who played the same hero the most
hell
times.
is this build from Dragon Knight?
Gives him a run for the money. What's he working on?
Casual Gauntlet.
No Stout Shield. We'll get some pooled tangos, but
he had two branches in a Gauntlet. I'm like, what?
I feel like Stout Shield is core against a Shadow Fiend. You don't think so? I guess Shadow Fiend doesn't want to harass that much, but
he wants his bottle up ASAP so he can spam out. And you don't want to concede early last hits. Okay, right?
Right.
So that's a general idea for Shadow Fiend. You shut him down from levels 1 through 4.
Right.
So that means don't give him any souls. To don't give him any souls, you need to be able to get last hits. To get last hits, you use Breathe of Fire. And to use Breathe Fire, you need mana. To use mana, you need bottle. So you need
30
to
seconds
get
to
your
battle.
bottle really quickly.
So you're basically just saying like what are the gloves providing here?
The gloves are they're good last hit, but he needs a bottle earlier. It'll delay his bottle, I think, enough that it might hurt him.
Yeah.
You'll get 2 Breathe Fires before you need a bottle, and 1 Breathe Fire is enough for your bottle if you don't go Gauntlet.
I see.
So I like the 2 branch build and the 2 pool tangos. I think that's perfectly okay. But the Gauntlets, it's questionable. But I can't doubt Relic. He beat Arteezy, so whatever.
The battle begins.
Actually, I am doubting him.
That is the end all.
He
be all.
probably knows something that I don't about Dragon Knight because I don't play Dragon Knight at all.
Okay, well we'll see how it works out this time. Smash on the Shadow Fiend.
Maybe he's going to
definitely-
the Urn Rush.
Oh yes, the classic Urn Rush DK. Yeah, as we've seen that so many times. All right, on the side of Revenge, they'll be Radiant here. Mystico will be playing on the Shadow Demon in the bottom lane. It will be Masoku on the Disruptor, and they will be joining Ben Jazz on the Tiny. Yeah, you're right. Knave and Goody already smoked up. Looks like they'll be coming mid. They will be rotating towards Smash, who's on the Shadow Fiend, and it is Mihawk in the off lane on the Darkseer. Rasta grabbing Shackles at level 1, and of course Wraithfire Blast picked up by the Wraith King. Smash. Uh-oh, there's the opening stun. No Dragon Tail, but he does have a Breathe Fire. Rasta coming around the backside. Wraith King taking some tower shots. There's your Shackle, the Breathe Fire. Do they have the damage? One more auto attack. They need it.
This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Goody's gonna die.
Oh, no. Smash lives. Goody dies to the Radiant.
Smash is too good, man.
No. That was the worst case scenario right there, I think.
You know what actually happened?
What?
Relic messed up his block. He let the melee creep go a little bit too far. And if the creep wave were like right here, instead of right here, they would have gotten a kill. So I would probably blame that on the block if I had to say anything.
Okay. Wow.
That's
it seemed like Rasta might have been able to get off another auto attack, but I think he was trying to not take the first blood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There were a lot of things that went
close
wrong
call,
with that fight.
but
it would have been much cleaner if they were like fighting over here instead of like right here.
Yeah.
And Captain Bamboo delivering that salve.
Captain Bamboo, huh?
Yeah, dude, Captain Bamboo's the boss.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this courier. What a cutie.
I know.
Well, Smash off to a pretty good start. In terms of CS, he did grab a couple. 3-0 compared to the 5-1 DK. He is now level 3 and has picked up his bottle, so all that initial theory crafting is...
Well, he won't have it before the 2-minute rune. It's the problem.
Yeah, he'll get it just as the 2-minute rune
You want
comes
to be
out.
able to use it and spam out the 2-minute wave and then get the
right.
rune. So it's like a little bit too late.
Yeah, Goody is camping out the top position. Of course, it will spawn bottom. And it is the half-fried egg roll that rotates over. Maybe we should introduce the dire side. It is the egg roll playing on Centaur. Relic in the mid on the DK, as we've seen. And up top, that is Goody on the Shadow Shaman, Knave on the Wraith King, and the Mirana being played by Bricks. Now, a rotation from half-fried egg roll with this haste rune will be upon us. But he's level 2, no double edge. Not so sure they have the damage to bring down Smash here. Well, they'll soften him up with the fire. No Dragon Tail. Smash, he might live. Oh, in comes Mihawk with the defensive disruption. Egg roll lining it up. Will find the first blood. That haste rune coming in handy. And Smash will concede it after all.
There's a lot of action going on top. I think, oh my.
And
really,
Stretch
Mihawk?
Armstrong.
Oh, wow.
He dies to the neutral.
Okay, so that was like a long... It started before the stuff happened in mid. I was watching the whole entire time and I was watching the other kill on your screen. So they were just chasing him around. They threw out a stun. He tried to throw out an arrow. He surge dodged the arrow. He like walks all the way over here and starts dodging. He tries to regen up and then he surges all the way back and then he just runs into creep, gets shackled, and then takes an arrow.
And then gets denied by the neutral to top it all off.
Well, space created.
It's true. A lot of space was created for the Tiny in the bottom lane. He's the last hit leader by a huge margin. 21-6, doubling everyone else right now. Mirana spent so much time chasing around the Darkseer that he wasn't last hitting. So That's good news for Revenge. Ben Jazz is off to the races here.
Yeah, and Mihawk got a free heal too. And on top of that, in the mid lane, even though Shadow Fiend gave up first blood, he's still ahead. Which is pretty sad considering it's just a Shadow Demon that's rotated in one time.
With one defensive disruption. That's all he did.
Right.
Yeah, so 13-2 compared to the 14-1 Dragonite. Things are looking pretty good for Revenge out of the gate. Mihawk up top, though. He'll get dove upon, moves into the trees, and he'll be alive for now. And Brick's actually almost falling. If Mihawk had a little more... had some Ion Shell action happening there, that possibly could have even been a kill.
If he were more manly.
Yeah. I see why he was tucked in the trees as he was, but a close call for the Mirana. So technically 1-2 in terms of kills, but on paper it's looking a little bit different here. Revenge with a small 500 gold and experience lead out of the gate.
They're just able to maximize bottom lane much better. They're able to pull. They're able to get a lot of farm up on the Tiny. And in the top lane, they're trying to contest a pull against a Darkseer. And they're just running around chasing him. And they actually weren't able to secure a kill. So it's mainly the discrepancy in the side lanes.
It sure is. DK racking up some more last hits with that Breathe Fire. Looks like he will be going for a quick bracer, so he might just be going for drums. That set of gauntlets there will come in handy.
Yay.
Just saying, man. Uh-oh. The egg roll. Masoku coming in. Does have 2 points in glimpse, but now they won't try
Oh, dude, Masoku's high level.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about him the whole entire time, but he's level 4, which is pretty high for a support 5 minutes in the game.
Yeah, the other supports are level 2 for the most part.
They're gunning for old Smash. But Smash is just doing newts. He knows what's up.
Yep, looks like it was just a double stack here. Some Satyrs and some Centaurs. We'll find some farm. Goody and Knave, they're smoked up. They're both only level 2.
There's a triple stack.
And no Ethershock. Oh, was there a triple?
Yeah, there's 2 Satyrs and a Centaur.
Oh, 2 Satyrs. Oh, pardon me.
Well, I don't know about Ben Jazz.
Masoku and Ben Jazz, they will be falling upon hard times here. And Masoku get off a clutch kinetic field. Ben Jazz the Slayer, he's trying to live up to his name, go straight in onto Goody, but he gets hexed. Now he's going to get shackled. They'll have plenty of damage. Goody will get interrupted with that glimpse, but...
I don't know if he had mana for toss, but if he toss, he kills Knave.
Yeah, Wraith King with 21 hit points to spare. Masoku on the run. Can Stretch Armstrong get here? There's the hex, but the Centaur turns around. I think that would have been a kill if the egg roll committed to it.
He was in the cast animation of the double edge. So maybe if he like does his slick attack and then animation cancel into a double edge, he can do it. That's asking for a lot.
Yeah, Smash falls in the mid lane. Mystico, damned if you do, damned if the defensive disruption seemed like the right play, but then DK could have just camped him out and would have killed him anyhow.
Jeez.
So
Smash getting destroyed in mid.
yeah,
how's that happening?
DK doing the deeps, man. That corrosive breath, a little too much. I don't know, but that's a big swing now. Relic about 1K up in terms of net worth. Over the Shadow Fiend. The CS score is pretty even, but Relic 1-0-1. Feeling the effects of those early kills. So this DK may end up being a pretty big space creator after all here, Merlini. Be curious to see if he goes for the Shadow Blade.
Space created. He should.
Yeah, I think it would be good this game.
They need the picks, especially on heroes like Darkseer and Shadow Fiend who are going to be annoying and push out your side lanes.
And ooh, Tiny going hand to Midas here. He's got the recipe picked up already, so Ben Jazz just trying to hard carry this and get that farm up.
Midas, I think, is fine here. But they do have the late game. They just need to survive the mid game, and Midas is not the right item for that, but at the same time, they can kind of farm faster than Ban Earth can kill.
Beauty and Knave smoked up, looking to gank bottom. Masoku will walk right into it, exposes the gank, but may pay with his life. Mystico comes in, gets off the defensive disruption, but now he could be in some trouble. Masoku comes out, Tiny rejoining the party, connects with the Avalanche, will find a kill onto the Shadow Shaman, but it does cost them the disruptor. It's a 1-for-1, make that a 1-for-2. Knave gets picked off, his smash rotates down and connects with some well-placed Shadow raises. Now, Moonlight Shadow deployed, the half-right egg roll, he is level 6, does have a Stampede available, Relic coming straight in, no Elder Dragon form, but does have a stun, connects on Masoku, double hoof stomp, there's your double edge, now smash, he's in trouble, it's a double kill for Relic. And Ben Earthspirit come out way ahead in that
The half-right egg roll is destroying Quills.
Oh yeah,
give him Centaur, give the man Centaur every single game, Earthspirit. That's your best chance.
He's a mean Centaur
The
player.
supports are actually doing very well too. Sure, Goody is 0-2-2 and 1-1-1 on the Wraith King, but they're putting so much pressure on like this area of the map that they can't really farm and stack safely, which is really where Shadow Fiend shines.
Yeah, Masoku looking for a glimpse on the DK, will find it right into the kinetic field, but it's just the supports. They don't have much follow-up damage. Disruption comes out, Soul Catcher, Poison. Relic will just TP home, and yeah, you'll be damned if you're cutting through that armor, boys. Nice heads-up play.
Relic's playing so much better than the
just
other
TP
game
out.
that I watched him, or the
Yeah.
first game that we cast.
Dude, he's #1 on net worth by a pretty good margin right now. 400 up on the Tiny, and Tiny was the one that picked up that hand of Midas. Still kicking in, but Shadow Fiend has just lost a lot of momentum. How is Smash looking in terms of item progression? He's got power treads up, bottle, but if he's going for BKB first, he is nowhere close.
You know, I was playing once with the Shadow Fiend, against the Shadow Fiend. Or I don't know, it was with or against, but he kept dying and dying. And on in all chat, he said, #road to 36 souls. It was really funny.
Uh-oh, Mihawk, he gets shackled up top. Arrow connects, and they'll even have a Wraithfire Blast if they need it, but certainly they don't. Goody snipes the last hit.
These
with that
supports are
close
everywhere,
range
man.
shock. Yeah.
They
Nowhere
just
is
have, like,
safe
brown
revenge.
boots, and they're killing everybody.
Yeah, Rosta's been roaming like crazy, as has the Wraith King, but it's been working. They're grabbing kills. They're both halfway through level 4, so they are slightly under-leveled, but not by much.
Not off the back of getting all this, because if they like failed 1 or 2 ganks, they would have been so far behind.
Yeah.
So it was a risky play, risky maneuver, but it paid off.
It worked out indeed. Tiny, level 8, has that first point in Grow. Not using his Midas, but that's okay.
More efficient, dude.
Yeah, just getting it for looks. I mean, it is made of gold, so does have a bling
you'll get the
value.
last hit anyways on the lane creeps. I don't know. Some people always like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
your Midas is up, but it's you time is money with
Mhm.
2 carries, and if you don't have to spend any time killing the neutral, then you're all good. Like the lane creeps are going to die anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not actually losing
And
that
he
much
doesn't want to
time,
push
so-
up to the tower anyhow, so
And you get a lot more experience too, because that's a creep that you wouldn't have killed before, and the
That's
neutral
true.
creeps are worth a little bit more. So
yeah,
I don't
that-
know. I
that
think it's
bonus
okay.
XP. It's not bad. It is a difference in preference, though. Some players
Yes,
just
it's
use
a
it
difference in
straight
preference.
away. Anything that's
Radiant's
nearby,
top
just let me
tower
Midas
is
it.
under attack.
And other players value it. It's also, do you want the farm right away, or do you value that extra bit of experience you get?
I
from
actually
getting
think
one
you
of the big
might get
neutrals?
more farm from going in between creep waves to go do it. So I think
Okay.
in some situations it's certainly better. If your neutrals are cleaned out, then obviously you should just Midas a creep. But it's an art.
Yeah,
The art of
oh,
Midas using.
the egg roll. He has a blink dagger. He sees Smash. He pings it out.
Smash is. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be in so much trouble this game.
He will back out, throws the illusions up, and it gets scouted. I think egg roll probably could have hopped on that. DK was right around the corner, and I think they could have made it happen. Wraith King gets dropped in the bottom lane, though. Sorry, I did miss that one. As Tiny and Disruptor go in on it. Still not over
unusual
for
build.
Smash, though.
Uh-oh.
Relic, he comes forward. Stampede will get off the Dragon Tail. There's the blink forward from the egg roll. More than enough damage to bring down Smash, and they are picking on this Shadow Fiend. It'll also
It's a
cost
hand
them
of
a tier
Midas
1 tower
Dragon
in the
Knight.
mid.
They could just get a Shadow Blade and just keep crushing him.
Wow, I am surprised. They just
Whoa.
want to take it late, I guess. They're worried about that Tiny carrying because he has a Midas and has been farming so hard.
I think they bring the fight to Shadow Fiend and make him irrelevant, but well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Up top, Goody pressuring this tower pretty hard alongside Bricks. He does not have the Rasta wards out quite yet, halfway through level 5, but this tower actually in deny range in the top lane. Ban Earthspirit actually don't really have a gold lead. It's just about zeroed out. They have a 3,000 experience edge. They will knock down this tower and get a little gold boost, but Revenge doing pretty well in terms of farm. Poured up from Smash, glimpse back onto Goody. He's already been softened up, and even though Moonlight Shadows come out, the Requiem of Souls will be enough to bring him down. Who needs detection when you've got AoE damage? Merlini?
Nope. Mass AoE, dude.
Yeah.
AoE's king.
Yeah, that's...
Or stun lock.
They do actually have Dust on Mystico, to be fair, so they do have some detection, but he was not inbound for that fight.
Easy triple raise, though.
Yep. Needed the Requiem to finish him off, but...
Shadow
still
Fiend
did
needs a BKB. This
And
is the
wow.
right build for
Ban
us.
Earthspirit, they'll go another Handamitis here.
They
can
really like
get one on
this.
Bricks.
They did this last time. I forget what hero Bricks was. Oh, he was Centaur. It was the
Yep.
Invoker and the DK who also got a Midas, and then they just lost in like 25 minutes. So this game they're actually ahead though, so the Midas is pretty good.
They're ahead for now. With the roster, they'll be able to continue pushing. I think one of them getting a Midas is kind of okay. Like, if Murata wanted to get Midas and DK went Shadow Blade, can create some space for the Midas, but they could still get run over. This Tiny is still farming very well.
Yeah, but Tiny doesn't take over in this era of the game. His expertise
it-
is not 15 to 25 minutes. His
that's
expertise
fair.
is like 25 plus. Like once you get your Scepter, maybe one more item, I think. Or he
Yeah.
has Drum, so Drum Scepter will be good.
Even just the mech versus no mech advantage will make a difference here in the mid
Oh,
game. though.
Knave.
Yeah, they'll go straight forward. Disruption comes out. Rasta wards come down in the middle of the fight. Goody taking a lot of damage. He'll be the first to go down. Dragon Knight taking heavy damage as well. Will be able to get the ultimate off if he wants. Mihawk stunned in the wards, and yeah, he'll just get dropped. Reincarnate gets procced. Relic survives. Does manage to get off his ultimate. Now Knave coming back up. Throws out the stun onto Smash.
The Midas is...
This is not a good time for Ban Earthspirit to fight.
This it really isn't.
Radiant's
Knave is
one
caught
for
in between.
is under attack.
Ooh.
Oh, Misko.
Smash will try to pursue this. Connects with the Shadow Rays over the tree line. Nicely done. But now he gets stunned in range of the wards. Defensive disruption buys him some time. He'll take some of the ward shots. Smash will not fall, but gets a close range Requiem off onto Relic. There's the toss forward. Shadow Poison. They'll bring down the DK. Still a good fight for Revenge, though it does cost them their Shadow Fiend. Also forcing wards out. They did do a lot of damage. Very worthy of the use right there, but that means their towers will be a little bit safer.
There are 2 Midas heroes died on Ban Earth, and this is the exact worst time to fight with your Midas. Like right as soon as you pick it up,
Yeah.
when the other team doesn't go any.
You see no ROI. You have all that farm invested in an item that just gives you a little
Yeah.
attack speed.
But they were in a really bad position though, because they either just let Rasa die, potentially one more with Glimpse, and trade 2 for 0, or they give up the tower, which is also a bad choice. So in terms of what other options could have been presented to them, I think it's actually not that bad.
I agree with that. Shadow Fiend still doing well in CS, but Smash has just died so many times. 3, 5, and 1. Middle of the pack in terms of net worth, right on par with that Mirana, who will start to overtake him. It does appear he wants a BKB.
He
Ogre
needs it.
Club,
He has
first
to
thing
rush
picked
it.
up, and yeah. He's actually pretty close, just about to grab the Mithril Hammer as well. They have made some space for him in the jungle, and Smash looking to recover here. We'll actually bump up to number 3 on net worth after clearing out some more neutrals. How's the Slayer looking? Does have that point booster up now following the Drum of Endurance. So Tiny slowly but surely starting to come online. He's at least now level 11 and hitting harder yet slower.
He be big.
Smoke from Revenge right in the mid lane. Where are they going with it though?
Do you think there should be a different mini-map icon for smoke heroes?
That would be interesting, but I don't know what you would
Make them like
it.
faded out a little bit.
A little faded out.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be even
More
kind of
confusing.
difficult to notice. Yeah, almost more confusing. But I'm not against it. Knave will get initiated upon. Throws out the stun onto Masoku, but won't be enough to keep him alive. Doesn't have the reincarnate available. He ain't coming back to life this time, boys. It will be a
It's a
successful
long
smoke gank.
cooldown, but
Radiant's top
it's just a
tower
support
is
rating,
under
right?
attack.
Yeah.
He's saving it for Blink Dagger. Actually, that will hurt him pretty badly. If he had just like treads and something and TP scrolls, he'd be okay. But since he's saving it for Blink, that gold cost is very dead.
Now they'll try and defend this tower. Moonlight Shadow deployed. Egg Roll goes in. Focuses down Masoku. But the defensive disruption keeps him alive. Rasta wards come down as well to try and defend this tower. First to go down will indeed be the Disruptor. It is the fried Egg Roll around the backside. Shadow Poison almost taking him down, but just not enough. It'll end as a 1-0. They get a kill on the support, but again, they waste the Rasta wards. I shouldn't say waste, but Rasta wards not knocking down towers at this stage in the game is good news for Revenge.
They used all 5 ultimates, or sorry, 4 ultimates, and Wraith Kings was still on cooldown. So they, ooh, I thought they were about to sneak in a Roshan. Yeah, if they don't drop wards, they just take Roshan off the back of that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have won that fight without it. So it's
It's a good use of the wards, but still good that Revenge are taking the fight to them instead of the wards coming down in their tower.
yeah, I like to play it from Revenge. They're playing it a little bit differently than I expected. I expected them just like stack and farm Ancients. Oh, Mihawk.
Dire's
Mihawk,
middle
he'll
tower
surge
is
away.
under attack.
Poor execution from Band Earthspirit. They all got bottlenecked here in this little tree line.
The bench is just gunning for the tower in mid, just skipping the creeps, whatever.
Radiant structures
Yeah, they'll go for
are
a tower
fortified.
exchange. They could have
Dire's
gotten a kill on
structures
Mihawk if they
are
set that up a little
fortified.
better. Glyph will come
Oh.
out from both sides.
Shadow Fiend on bottom. Oh wait, not Shadow
No,
Fiend.
that's Shadow Demon.
Dire's middle
Too many
tower
Shadow
is-
heroes this game.
Dire's middle
The
tower
bottom
is
tower falls.
fortified.
Goody gets picked off. Now Relic going hard onto Mystico. Mihawk might have the damage to bring him down. That Iron Shell cutting through that tanky Dragonite armor. No, they'll just disrupt him and make their escape. And he will TP home. So tower for tower exchange and Revenge get
Oh,
a kill out of it.
I don't
It's
know.
not done yet. Knave still doesn't have the ultimate for 12 seconds. Thunderstrike. Glimpse. Yep, he'll get Glimpse back now. Kinetic Field. Static Storm deployed as well. 5 seconds on the ultimate. They'll bring him down. Great timing to kill the king. Actually, it almost would have been better if it came up because they could have killed him again and put it on cooldown
Yeah.
once more. But still, they get the kill. So splitting hairs a little bit.
So I think I saw Blink Dagger. Maybe not. No.
It's a BKB now up on Smash and a Maelstrom on Mirana. Those are the 2 big items.
Almost
pickups
BKB on
following
Dragon Knight too.
that. Yes, sir. Yeah, just working on that recipe. He's darn close.
So I like the way Revenge is playing. I forgot to finish my thought last time. They're like putting a lot of pressure on Ban Earth. Usually when you see teams behind like this, especially with good AoE clearing heroes like Shadow Fiend and Tiny, they'll stack Ancients, they'll stack Neutrals, and they'll only take fights closer to towers. But they're actually getting ganked, they're smoking around, they're putting pressure on towers, and they're defending their towers even with only a couple of people. So I think it's very smart play from them, and it's a little unexpected, and I think it's catching Ban Earth off guard because if Ban Earth gets Midases and Revenge plays like a lot of teams would, which is play passively and farm, then Ban Earth will win out because they have the double minus advantage. But since they're trying to fight them, take advantage of their minuses, they're actually staying in the game.
Yep.
And ahead. They're ahead in gold.
Yeah, the minuses are starting to kick in, though. We mentioned the core items on Mirana and DK that are inbound, that BKB coming out after one more creep kill or so. So Revenge will need to keep the pressure on. They may want to sit back and let the branch get completed by Tiny. He is 1,000 gold off the Scepter upgrade. So that might be an appropriate amount of time to sit back and farm and then have Tiny cleave all over the place. Roche still hasn't been attempted by Ban Earthspirit.
They could do it very easily.
And yeah, with
like
the roster
right
wards,
now,
they could
anytime,
drop it.
with 2 heroes, they can do it. Like Shadow Shaman plus Shadow, or Shadow Shaman plus like DK, they could do it. I don't know. They need to sneak it in.
Yep. There is ward coverage for the Radiant side. They also have a Sentry ward down as well.
It's just too much damage. They don't have the T1 up in mid or bottom, and that makes it really difficult to defend. And you'll see this trade T1 top for Roshan very often.
Yep. And here you go. Wards come down. Like you mentioned, they'll trade it for the tier 1 tower. They know exactly what's going on. This ward right here for the... oh, no, that's a Dire... Oh, no, okay, it's double observers. I'm sorry. The blue, I thought that was a observer and a sentry, but they're both observers.
I'd say...
Either way, Revenge know what's going on, and they won't contest. They'll just try and push the top 2 tower.
Yeah, I'd say in a normal situation, this would be a good trade for the Dire. But I think since they have Rasa and they have Roshan available to them at almost any time, then it's actually a very bad trade for them. And they took it down pretty slowly, so they're going to lose a T1 and a T2 for Roshan that they could have done at any time. Just winning just one team fight.
Yeah, and Revenge are actually in a position here to defend their bottom tier 2 if they're so inclined. Looking at the TP situation, not all of them have TP scrolls, so they will commit to this, and they're right up on the high ground. Ban Earthspirit will come back. They won't be able to finish down this tower. They barely even do any damage to it. Tier 3 getting chunked, smash on the high ground, BKB ready, casual Morbid Mask, and wow, he goes Mask of Madness here.
That's a pretty common... I wouldn't say it's common Shadow Fiend build. I think it's more common than your reaction leads me to believe. You think it is?
I have not seen it recently at
Shadow
all.
Fiend does a lot of damage, and they don't have that much right click on Banner. Like Wraith King.
I wouldn't say that this is common, at least not in the past like month. We've seen a lot of Shadow Fiends, and like Mask of Madness straight after BKB. I can't even remember the last time I saw somebody do it.
Oh, I've seen it a few times. Maybe not in competitive, but I definitely seen it in high tier matchmaking.
Okay.
So you do a lot of damage, and when they don't have that many right clickers, they have majority magical damage.
Oh, the egg roll. He gets glimpsed back, but still gets his rotation off, and ends up being an easy kill. Oh, arrow hits Mystico as well. Starstorm, the vacuum into wall. They mech him up. Mystico gets off the disruption. He'll be okay. BKBs get popped. Smash and Relic just going blow for blow. But it looks like the Dire are starting to come out ahead. The Illusions doing a surprising amount of manage. Tiny tossing Smash forward. They're looking to pursue onto the Moonlight Shadow, but they don't have a gem. All they have is dust on Mystico, and he's in the grave right now. They'll be forced back. And that's a Dire Sentry. So Moonlight Shadow turning that fight around a little bit at least. Giving Ban Earthspirit the reset they needed.
That was just not good. They needed Tiny there to be up front and personal, and Shadow Fiend doesn't do enough damage on his own. He right-click people with Mask of Madness and BKB, and with Centaur having the mech, and with Wraith King having his ultimate, with DK having 20 armor, no one goes down easily.
Yep.
Except Shadow Shaman, but Goody's usually in a decent position.
Yeah, and they will get a tier 2 tower out of it. They did burn the roster wards, but Revenge losing a little momentum. Tiny did pick up his branch, so now he can farm really effectively with branch and Midas. They'll smoke up. Smash just cleans up the roster wards, finds himself a little gold pick-me-up there, much needed after that team fight. And even Surge onto Benjaz. They will rotate bottom. Looks like they want to give the egg roll a run for his money.
Oh, Shadow Demon's actually going for a Scepter too. He's pretty far along considering.
All right, there's the Avalanche, the toss. And one more ought to do it, but the egg roll, he has a TP scroll here. He could blink into the trees. Stampede will be enough to keep him alive for now. Blink, TP home. That's an unsuccessful smoke gank for Revenge.
Nice escape. I think Ben just jumped the gun. I think he didn't want him to blink out, but if they had to wait a tiny bit for Masoku, they can easily glimpse him back and get the kill.
Yeah. And Shadow Demon, you're right, about 1,500 gold away from his Ag Scepter. I'd rather have it on the Disruptor, to be perfectly honest. I think that Ag's upgrade is way more useful than the Purge charges that you and I are notorious for flaming a little bit, but it's not bad for Shadow Demon, but there are just a lot of other items that I think are more useful.
Yeah, I think Force Staff is also more useful too.
I was just going to say that. Get out of my head, man. We saw last game how important it is. In the late game, especially once Shadow Fiend gets locked down, you need to be able to pull him back and give him that reset tool. Even the Tiny as well.
You know, there was a funny stat I think on Dota Buff after 6.81 came out. Like Coddle and Lich, their win rates went like down, even though
they got
buffed.
upgrades. Yeah,
just because people were getting Ags over
like other good
like
items.
Mech, Force, Ghost. Those are your
the utility
like,
items that actually win games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Supports win games, man.
Yeah, they really
And
do.
Shadow Demon Scepter does not win games.
I mean, what's the value in it here? I mean, obviously it's good against BKB. BKB on Mirana.
I think you can
Dragon
purge off
Knight.
Stampede, maybe.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen a Shadow Demon do
No,
that.
but you're not in a
can.
position to do so.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly, and it's you still Stampede 5 heroes. You can purge 1, so it's still not a really great.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's possible. There's some buffs that you can dispel, some buffs that you can't.
I'm not sure if
I would say that
Stampede
it's
is one of those.
dispellable.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just one of those. We'll have to try and keep an eye out for it.
But
You don't see it too
it's
often.
really difficult. They're hasted. Like, how are you going to be able to catch them without any blink, without a force staff? It's just not that great.
Yeah, and if they're getting it to try and deal with the BKBs, then they should really have Disruptor in that position for getting all the farm and let him get his Ags upgrade and then just put down Static Storms and stop them from BKBing in the first place, not slow them down once they've already BKB'd.
Yes.
So if is there something else we're overlooking here? Like does Purge counter something specific in this match that we're not?
Nope.
I can't think.
It's very, very good versus melee BKB heroes like Lifestealer. If you have double Purge on him, it will destroy him. But they have 2 like ranged heroes.
Yeah, Dragon Knight counts as a range for the most part, and
Mirana,
of course
so
Mirana's ranged.
You can't really kite the Dragon Knight either because he's level 16 with Frost armor.
So. It's the other way around. He's kiting you.
Yeah. So it's just
strange choice from Revenge. We'll see how it works out. Maybe he'll make some clutch Purge
Oh
plays.
my gosh, a double demonic Purge.
He gets his Ag Scepter up right now, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, how did he just get 1,500 gold? Did he have one?
He must have had another piece hiding somewhere.
That's actually very fast for a Shadow Demon.
Yeah, 25 minutes. Uh-oh, the Slayer, Benjaz, he gets initiated upon Moonlight Shadow. He's farming all by himself up in No Man's Land. He'll pay for it. Does buy a bunch of items before he gets picked off, so that is something. Goody down bottom in big trouble. He'll get Static Stormed, Kinetic Fielded, and he
They need
will
Vision
fall.
of Half-Right Egg Roll. They might actually get a glimpse off from Masoku. Nope. Oh, they search him. They're looking for it.
He's too far away.
I don't know, dude. He might get Vision right now.
Egg roll.
Oh, that was close. That was really close.
Disruptor, he's trying to pursue. Throws down the Kinetic Field, but he's
This is
long
when a
gone.
blink would come in useful.
Yep.
But that's okay.
Anything besides bracers would have been useful there.
I don't know. Braces are pretty useful.
Bracers are okay. I meant right there.
Oh, right there, yeah.
Like in that context, just making a joke that the bracers didn't help him.
That's okay.
Lame joke, sorry. Crystallis here on the Shadow Fiend following his Mask of Madness. He's also level 16. So Requiem of Soul is a little more potent. Dragon Knight now level 17. He's working on his
the
Assault
double
Cuirass.
Purge! Is it gonna happen?
Well,
One Purge
disruption.
comes out!
Oh, I got the Purge! No, BKB, he'll TP home. Purge ain't gonna stop you from doing that.
Good thing he had... But a Scepter on Disruptor would have stopped the BKB.
Yep.
But he didn't have Static Storm up, so we're going a little hard on that.
Yeah, poor guy.
Maybe he's like, I don't know what this does. Let me try it out.
This is just not the time to be experimenting like that. You know, you need this win, man. Elimination is on the line here.
Go with what you know.
You need all these wins. Yes, this is the time to stick with what you know until you're in Hail Mary mode. And I think this game is still pretty far from Hail Mary mode. Yes, the classic all-in Ags Shadow Demon. Classic.
Classic Hail Mary play.
Yeah, there's your Daedalus on Smash, though. So he's getting more farmed. He's starting to get pretty beefy on this Shadow Fiend here.
Remember the recovery Mask of Madness that we saw on Snaking? It's somewhat similar to that.
Yeah.
I'd say.
It's not a bad item by any means, but I definitely think it's a little bit
It's weird.
Atypical. Yeah, weird is a good word. There's a Blink Dagger up on Wraith King. I don't think we made mention of that. But he's moving all over the place. Also, Mjolnir now out on bricks.
Shadow Demon's going to be really important in the upcoming fights because of defensive disrupt. If someone like Tiny goes down early, or even during the BKBs, that Bannerth is inevitably going to pop in team fights, or if Shadow Fiend gets stun locked, like a Blink Centaur stun into DK stun or arrow, they need him to defensively disrupt so they can pop their BKBs of their own, and so they can just mitigate a lot of damage. Tiny is fat, so even if you disrupt him, you'll actually do a lot of damage with those illusions.
Yep, that's true. And let's see, Revenge actually holding on to a small gold lead, about 1,200 experience edge going the way of Banner Earthspirit, but it's pretty negligible, just about 3,000 now. So they have the late game carry advantage between Shadow Fiend and Tiny. Both of them will get pretty big. And you were talking about that window where Tiny isn't so huge. Well, that window's pretty much closed as we get into that 30-minute mark. Tiny's a level 16. He is literally and figuratively huge, cleaving all over the place.
But they have BKBs and tools to deal with them.
Hey,
Like,
come on, man. We've seen now that BKB is not the hard counter to Tiny. That branch.
but they have ranged heroes. So, and they also have a Wraith King who can just stun them and just kind of keep them in
I
place.
think Tiny needs a BKB this game,
I
too.
think Tiny needs a BKB too.
If he wants to get up in there. And,
They have
and
Frost
cleave.
Armor or Frost Dragon too to kite him even if he does go BKB.
They do have Surge, though. So that,
Yeah,
that
they
can
have
help get
Surge.
Benjaz into the right position at the right time.
Yes.
So that is something going their way. There is now a counter Assault Karas up on the Dragon Knight. And once again, Van Earthspirit will move right into the Roche Pit. It has been scouted out. Revenge.
Everyone needs armor on Ban Earth if they can afford it. Like a
Dire's bottom
Butterfly
tower
would be
is
really
under
good on
attack.
Marana. Shivas would be really good on Centaur. And the mech was a fantastic pickup. So they just all need armor. Probably a Ghost Scepter on Shadow Shaman because he doesn't have enough HP to make use of the
Dire's
armor.
bottom tower
He
is
just needs
under
straight
attack.
of whatever you want to call it, evasion, physical damage, and vulnerability. So we'll see how that goes. I guess Wraith King probably needs armor. He can get Blade Mail if he really wants to, but he's too underfarmed, I think, to really do that much.
Yeah. Sharing is caring here as the Dire team work together to take
Radiant's
down
top tower is
the
under
Ancients. But uh-oh, down in the lane, Initiation comes out. They find the Dragon Knight and they lock him down. That's an easy kill. Only caught the tail end of it, but
That's a really important kill
Radiant's
because
top tower
Dragon Knight doesn't
is
actually have
under
buyback.
attack.
And yeah, they have an Aegis, but it's on the bottom.
Yep.
And they might just straight go, oh, buddy.
Soku getting very bold here. He'll get arrowed. Hex, the team is not inbound, and that was
He was...
that was bold.
That was bold indeed. Oh,
Avalanche misses Goody.
he had an okay idea. I don't know why he didn't just force the tower, though.
I mean, he didn't have a Static Storm up, though.
He was looking for a glimpse.
I know, but still. The like, you're just walking into... Like, if he had a Static Storm, at least if they initiated on him, he could have used that,
He was
that
counting on
no
defensive
cast time.
disrupt and like
Yeah.
a counter vacuum wall initiate.
His team just wasn't in position for
Yes. So it might have been him outrunning his team with a surge. I don't know if he got surge, but probably.
it. Yeah. If he had the Static Storm, at least he could have had a reset tool to buy time for his team to get there, but without it, just running in face first like that is very risky.
If he had like a dropped in reserve ward over here and been a little bit safer, I don't know. He has a reserve ward, so he could have dropped in a reserve ward over here, played from here from the fog, and glimpse from the fog, and get one more kill. So he turns a 1 for 0 into 2 for 0. There are better things that Disruptor could have done.
Yeah. Will be a smoke, though, from Ban Earthspirit. Looks like they want some vengeance. They will focus on Mihawk. He's looking to TP home. Will they interrupt it?
Or does it blink?
Nope.
Blink.
No blinks.
Blink,
they,
bro.
they didn't have vision of him.
They
so.
had the smoke. Their smoke pops. So if it pops right here, you know he's like in this area.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess he could have blinked forward. And
It's worth a shot. The worst that happens is your blink's on cooldown.
Waste of blink cooldown. Yeah, not very costly.
The risk reward is...
Yeah. Darkseer is
no
working on a
risk.
BKB, though, after his mech blink, which is a little interesting as well. I think Ags on the Darkseer wouldn't be bad this game, actually.
Ags would be pretty good.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower
Give him
is
more of
under
that
attack.
late game edge. Tier 2
Dire's
tower in the mid,
structures
taking
are
heavy
fortified.
damage. They will pop the glyph. Egg roll around the backside, has everything available. Arrow hits smash from downtown. This is the initiation they were waiting for, but defensive disruption comes out. Now Rasta wards come down. Dragon Knight pops his BKB and ultimate. Smash gets his BKB off as well. Still no one to fall. It is Mystico that goes down first. They proc the Aegis. This Shadow Fiend going hard with that Mask of Madness and a double damage rune. Marana coming back up. Revenge. They've lost all of their squishies. Now Smash will get isolated. No BKB. And it's a disaster. Ban Earthspirit. It's a 4 for Aegis.
That arrow.
Oh,
Smash
and the reincarnation. So the two targets they took down both had a second life. Very
Smash
unfortunate.
got hit by the arrow, and that just was really poor. Yeah, sure, they have defensive disruption, but he's like in a really bad position, right next to the tower, surrounded by wards. They can pop their BKB and know that they can get a lot of damage on them. Dragon Knight also focused Shadow Fiend during his BKB, so that wasted about half his BKB because he had to run up the hill, and he was slowed by the frost.
He did get himself in a good position. He moved into the tree line up in here, and that gave him a little bit of fog
Yes,
where he
that was
was
good position.
slapping people, but it was just too little too late. His teammates were already dead at that point, and now they'll go straight forward. Glyph has been popped, and
These arrows.
Ban Earthspirit, they won't push it. Glimpse back on the DK. He BKBs it. And
I
he'll
think that's the
TP
wrong
home.
hero to do it on. Yeah, they get a BKB charge, but I think they can get a kill if they do it on anybody else. Like
That-
literally anybody
That takes it
else.
down to a 5-second BKB on the Dragon Knight, though. So yeah,
That's true.
it's okay.
He's not very vulnerable though. Like even if he doesn't have BKB, or like, hey, let's burst down this 2,000 HP Dragon Knight with 39 armor, 37 armor.
Jesus.
That's not really happening. That's not their ideal target.
Fair point. Goody does have a Blink Dagger now in the Shadow Shaman, and Tiny just picked up his fresh BKB. They'll go on to Bricks. He had the high ground though. Vacuum. Oh, this is just sloppy from Revenge. They could have handled that a little bit better.
They could have waited for the glimpse. Like,
yeah, Stampede comes out, so they waste another cooldown, but yeah. Kill on the Mirana would have been much more valuable there.
well,
Things looking a lot better for Ban Earthspirit, though. They have a 1,000 gold lead, but an 11,000 experience lead. Not that huge at this stage in the game, but sort of spelling out the momentum a little bit. And Ban Earthspirit have certainly taken it. Roche, yep, still a long ways before he comes back up.
big bad Tiny. He needs more items. He does have his BKB. Doesn't mean he can't get kited, but
What do you think about Manta on Tiny this game?
Manta's okay. Mjolnir and
Get that movement speed?
Mjolnir and Dragon Knight AC will cleave him.
Oh, I like the attempt from Masoku. Throw down the Static Storm all around him, try and TP home. But Knave, just on the edge of it, interrupts it with the Wraithfire Blast.
He's really low level, so I don't think it'll actually translate into significant gains for Ban Earth. I'm trying to think of what item to go on Tiny. I don't know. That's rough.
I was thinking the movement speed is good to try and
it's useful.
help against the kiting. Yeah, but
It's 5,000 gold into.
it's one of those
A little
items
bit
you
of
really
boost.
want to grab earlier. It gives you so much utility in farming.
If they want
and
to
in the
split
mid-game.
push, I think it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
But the problem is he can't stand there and whack people. And
I actually like the butterfly here.
I would say
Put
butterfly
him in the front
or
line.
Manta.
Force
yeah.
out an MKB on that Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I think Shadow Fiend's gonna get a
Radiant's top
butterfly though.
tower is under attack.
So they might not want two butterflies
The
because
double butter.
MKB will destroy it. But butterfly is just such a good item that
Yeah.
Radiant's top
You can't
tower
go terribly
has
wrong with
fallen.
Well, top tier 2 tower falls. Only one outer tower remaining for Revenge. It is the bottom tier 1, and actually only one outer tower remaining for
Moonlight
Ban
Shadow comes
Earthspirit
out.
as well. Oh, here it is. Detection. Do they have a gem? No, they don't.
Shadow Demon better be in place. They might just kill Smash if he's not careful.
Dire's
Oh Smash!
bottom
Oh
tower is
Smash!
They've set the trap.
Oh, that was so close. He does have buyback, so not the end of the world.
Still, I like the attempt here from Ban Earthspirit, using the Moonlight Shadow that way, setting the trap out of the base. If anyone was foolish enough to come out, certainly would have been a kill. This bottom lane
Fools.
gets pressured a little bit. And yes, 1-4-3-7 the Fool. Here we've got the Slayer. Is that the new thing? Everyone's giving themselves self-appointed titles.
Murata is actually very fat.
Yeah.
She's only died once. She still gets wrecked by Shadow Fiend though. That's the problem with Murata. Yeah, you have what's the net worth difference between these two? Murata's actually higher in Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend will just
They're
obliterate
on
her.
point, yeah, they're within like a couple hundred.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
And he has lifesteal.
4-man smoke from Revenge. And they don't go up. They actually rotate down. There's an illusion rune in the river. I don't know what their plan is here, but they won't find much with this smoke. Yeah, Tiny just goes back to farming. 3,000 gold up on him. So maybe we'll see an inkling of what he's working on coming up next. Big Brad here as the Reaver and going for a Heart of Tarask, one would assume. Shadow Shaman.
Do you know who
working on his
Tarask is? Is there some lore behind that?
Tarask.
Or Aghanim? I don't know who any of these people are.
I think Aghanim was like I feel like if he was in Blizzard lore, they would have changed it, but I feel like he was a sorcerer of some sort. He was kind of like a Rubik type, like some grand Magus type dude. I feel like I've seen that name before. The other one, Tarask, I don't know what that is. I really don't.
How come this question hasn't come up before?
I don't know.
I've
That
heard-
wasn't one that was. It's always been Heart of Tarask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't know. So
don't
it's
know
a good
either.
question. Kunkka. By Kunkka. Well, Ban Earthspirit, they'll get a little more aggressive. 5-man rotation. Looks like they may want to pick on this bottom tier 2 tower. Masoku in the trees. Pokes his head out, but uh-oh, this could be too bold. Pops the Static Storm as well as the Kinetic Field. He glimpses back Knave, but he's all alone right here. He's stuck in the trees.
It's one of those unimportant deaths because he's
Yep.
45-second respawn. So I mean, Masoku's dying, but his deaths don't matter.
That's true.
And they're pushing the both side lanes, so they might get a T2, but they won't be able to get a T3 unless they want to trade against a Tiny. And we've seen how that story ends.
The only tier 2 standing is this one down here, so
Oh, they're actually doing the fake
Radiant's bottom tower
the fake
is under attack.
push on bottom. There's only 2 people there, and
Yeah.
they count Benjas by surprise.
Relic on the high ground. Goody comes in, hits him with the Hex. They might be able to drop the hammer here. There's your Stretch Armstrong Shackle. The defensive disruption comes out, but he'll pop back out. BKB tries to TP home, but he won't make it. Mystico, same story, but without the BKB, he just gets stunned up. What a play from Ben Earthspirit.
That was
Revenge play right into their hand.
The fake back, or the fake push rather.
Yeah. Wow. And they still got the tower out of it, so it wasn't even really a fake push. It was an actual push, but they faked the tier 3 push.
The
I guess.
tower was a little bit too low. I think it was what, Centaur, and who else was in front? Who else was back? Skeleton King, I think.
Yeah, he TP'd back late, I think.
Yeah, I think it was those 2. So their big damage dealers aren't there, but it didn't raise any flags from Revenge. So off the back of that, and with Tiny down for 40 seconds.
He does
This
have
may be
buyback here.
Radiant's middle
There is no
tower
glyph,
under
though. I
attack.
think Tiny's forced to buy back, or Rax will fall. But they'll be patient. They'll let this tower get chunked
He doesn't
down.
have BKB, so it's difficult for him to buy back because he might just buy back. Oh, smash. Oh, no, smash.
Radiant's middle tower has
No, he gets hit in
fallen.
the tier 4s. They don't want to pursue it. They just want the Rax. Masoko, on the other hand, they'll settle for him. They burst him down, vacuum in, but it's just not enough. Melee Rax will fall. Range Rax to go down shortly after. Tiny will not use the buyback. The BKB will be coming up right as he buys back.
Has fallen.
Butterfly's been grabbed by the Shadow Fiend, but
Do or die.
Bricks already has an MKB.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, not good. Not good for Revenge. They're still in the top 2 net worth seats, but
Roshian's going to go down. They just push down. No buyback on Shadow
Yeah.
Fiend.
that was just such a costly misplay with Tiny on the low ground. They had the trap set, and he sprung it in full force. This is 3rd Roche, so Cheese will come down. They even have Rost awards to
Oh,
burn
Tiny
here
also
if they
bought
want
out.
to.
So he bought the Chrysalis, so he doesn't have enough gold for buyback either. One bad fight, Revenge loses the game.
They're all in here. Well, at least for now. Tiny is only 300 gold away from the buyback, so he could farm up for the next few moments, but yeah.
Roshan has
Revenge.
fallen to the dire.
Getting close to Hail Mary mode here, Merlini. Banner Spirit do
Yep.
finish off Roche. This time the Aegis goes the way of the Dragon Knight, and Cheese is what Bricks gets on the Marana.
With this loss, dashes of Smash at TI4 are going to be...
Dire's top tower is
Dashed.
under attack.
Yep.
sad.
Dreams were ended today, or could be ended after this game. Revenge absolutely have to win this one to stay in it. They have to win all of their remaining games to have a shot at the top 4. If they lose this, it's all she wrote. Half right egg roll gets initiated upon. No TP for you, but does have his BKB. Double damage on the Tiny, still not enough to chop down Big Brad.
He has a heart.
Yeah, he's so big. 3.4k HP.
And 20 armor.
Yeah, that's pretty darn big. BOT's up on the Marana. Very nice. Now Bricks doing a little bit of that rat dodo perhaps. Has more mobility. And can push these side lanes after a successful team fight. He does have 2,700 gold in savings, so still plenty of gold for buyback. And oh, there's your double MKB. Now one up on Relic's Dragon Knight. This is scary. That Butterfly on Shadow Fiend would have been a huge item pickup if he could have gotten it earlier, but 2 MKBs out. Still good damage, but that
Not good
survivability
enough.
from the evasion just completely mitigated.
The BKB wars are going to easily swing in Banner's favor right now. Because
Yep.
they have no way to deal with the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight is just too massive. 2,200 HP. 39 armor. MKB. AC for tons of attack speed. And then an Aegis to boot. So,
He's,
like, I guess they could make an image of him. That would be nice.
yeah, I feel like there's kind of a lot on this Darkseer right now. A huge wall vacuum could be game-changing, but I don't know about this BKB on Darkseer. I feel like getting a really good wall with an Ags would be so much more helpful in trying to defend the base. Like, yeah, he can survive with the BKB, but the wall could actually save their next lane of Rax from going down.
I agree. It's one of those items like he's playing it too passively.
Yeah. And Stampede used as they come forward. It will be a wasted cooldown, it looks like. They don't catch anyone out. And now Revenge just gearing up to try and make a defense. They won't have a glyph up for another 50 seconds. So that will be a window of opportunity for the
Radiant's
dire. Arrow
bottom
flies
tower
in.
is under attack.
Smash won't hit
the
anybody.
Invis. I don't know what exactly he's going to do with this, but maybe he can make some plays.
Maybe.
Oh, they have a gem. Never mind. JK.
Yep. And also now an Ag Scepter up on Goody. So the nice thing for Ban Earthspirit here is even if they don't take a convincing team fight, they can still just drop Rost awards, force a fight kind of near the hill, and they'll do some damage to the structures. And with one Rax advantage, Cheese and Aegis, they can afford to be a little liberal with their cooldowns and focus of the structures.
They most certainly can.
Glyph in 15, arrow. Juked all around. Nice footwork. And no, they won't commit to it. They don't
They
want to put the
shouldn't.
wards down.
the Mjolnir buff was used, so that's one thing that they won't have. But they have everything else up for this fight.
Yeah.
And they have to take it while the Aegis
Yeah,
is still up.
Stampede's even cooled back down as well.
I guess they have 3 minutes to do so.
And Mjolnir coming up in 10 seconds, so they could shove in with this creep wave. They can afford just to be so much more aggressive here. They really can.
Wraith King.
Glyph is now available. They're trying to hope an arrow, I think. Or connect with an arrow before they do it, but there you go. Elder Dragon form popped. Wards come down. Tower down to half health. Benjaz the Slayer coming in, doing some damage to Relic, but the tower's already fallen. And now they'll just back out. The wards will get cleaned up. I think they could have stood to be even more aggressive than that. Now they'll come back in. There's the reinitiation. BKB popped as the Static Storm kinetic field comes. Benjaz the target of choice, and he just gets destroyed. He gets completely brought down. Instant buyback from the Tiny. They proc the Aegis on the Dragonite. They force out the BKB on Smash as well. Requiem of Souls channeled. It does do all, or about half of Relic's health as he comes back up. Where's his team? They've already backed out. The top tower taking some damage from creeps. They'll TP home and leave their Dragonite.
Why'd they ditch?
I don't know. They could have taken that fight. They forced the buyback from Tiny already.
What?
I don't think Ban Earthspirit handled that quite right.
I guess they did.
You don't have to go all in right there, but the Dragonite is just so tanky. You already dropped the Tiny once. You had roster wards down. They could have even continued fighting on the wards. They didn't have to back out and let the wards get cleaned up like that.
I guess this is safer.
Yeah.
Losing one as opposed to potentially losing 4 or 5.
Okay, so just basically at the end of the day, they trade Dragonite and Aegis for a tier 3 tower with one lane of racks down. Since they already have one lane down, they're not in that crisis mode of we have to win right now, so there is a less incentive to play that hyper aggressive.
Yes, we're looking at it in the viewpoint of they could have gotten more, but it could have been so much worse.
Very true.
It probably wouldn't have been worse, but it's still too risky.
Yeah, and forcing the Tiny to buy back is that's another thing that we should mention. Tiny's buyback is on cooldown. That puts a dent in his gold. He will be able to grab a Daedalus before too long, now that the farming debuff has expired. They still have the cheese as well. So Ban Earthspirit will just go back to farming, wait for their cooldowns. I don't think Revenge used their glyph either. Nope. So not quite crippling damage yet. They didn't lose their gem either. Any other item pickups or any other progression worth noting following that fight? Doesn't seem like it. Both sides do have a gem now, though, which is something that's a little different. We haven't seen a lot of gems this tournament so far, Merlini. Or not enough gems,
Satanic Marana, I guess it's useful. I think she could get an MKB.
She already has MKB.
Or, sorry, not MKB, Butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
I think Butterfly would have done a lot more damage. Just BKB. I don't really think she needs BKB and Satanic.
Yeah.
Not right now. Maybe later.
Yeah, it's alright. And again, playing it kind of safe. Just wants to make sure that he can survive. Alright, they will group up and re-pressure this bottom lane. So rinse and repeat. They'll do pretty much the same thing. They've got Wraith King, level 16, reincarnate ready. I mean, why didn't the Wraith King be a little more aggressive in that last fight?
His
That's
job.
what I'm bothered. Yeah, like, why not blink in and be in the front line and
I don't know.
set that up?
I've been hating on Knave.
He was way far back. That's true.
You just run in there, force BKBs. If you trade BKB for reincarnate, you win the fight.
Yeah. Egg Roll has the Mjolnir buff, cuts down that creep wave. Again, racks are exposed. There's already a Radiant Sentry down on top of their gem. So they will not get caught off guard by Moonlight Shadow. They go in on Tiny, Wraithfire Blast. Okay, they don't go in on Tiny. They find a stun and then just back up as the creep wave gets cleaned. Moonlight Shadow this time. Again, Sentry Ward. Oh, the Sentry Ward got taken down by the gem.
They have a gem on Shadow Demon.
Okay. Still, they won't necessarily see it coming. They'll find Benjaz. They throw down the wards. He does get defensive disrupted, but Mystico pays with his life. Smash BKB on, trying to right-click down. And he will finish off the Skeleton King, but of course he's coming back up. DK is now fallen. Benjaz survives. He gets picked off, but this BK, or this Smash, just going hard right now. He stands his ground, eventually falls. Gems are down. Buyback's coming. Shadow Fiend, the lone defender now for revenge.
They can't win this because he just blink hexes and he just dies again.
Yeah, so. And he has no BK.
He's the only guy that's up.
He did everything he could. He burned his buyback. He did a lot of damage right there and dropped the DK, but it was just too much damage. The roster wards with the follow-up damage as well. That's 2 lanes of racks. They didn't even pop their glyph in that fight. Oh, revenge.
Oh, revenge.
1 lane of racks standing. It's looking good for Ban Earthspirit.
I also saw Tiny just standing there in the wards.
Yeah.
He tried to right-click someone, but it was just a tiny bit out of range. And
no phase boots, bro.
He needed a right. Can you exit out of them? I forget. They kept changing it.
If you, I think you can right now. Yeah. You can phase boot out of them, or at least that's how it was last time I saw somebody get ward trapped with phase boots, which was
I need
about
to
a month
check
ago.
this.
Yeah. I would say at least a month and a half ago I saw somebody do it.
Okay.
But yeah, gotta chop down those wards, man. It was a nice initiation on Tiny, to be fair. Earthspirit did do well with that Moonlight Shadow. They had the gem, but still Benjaz didn't really see the initiation coming until it was kind of too late. So they found a good way to start it off, and now Mirana, she is top of the net worth chart, 27k compared to the 22 of Tiny. 4,000 gold up on her again, and she still has the cheese. That's the power of that Satanic in the last fight.
The cheese.
The cheese. Yummy, yummy
Smash
cheese.
was so close to living that fight too.
Yeah, he really was. He stood his ground. I mean, he made the right call right there. I think he handled himself right. He just didn't have the team support / enough damage.
I think if the wall were like a tiny bit pushed forward,
yeah.
I don't know how many people it caught, but it didn't seem like it caught that many people.
There weren't massive amounts of illusions. He's gonna go Ghost Scepter now as well. So same complaint about the BKB. Very defensive from the Darkseer, and although he can survive, it's all about that wall, man. That 140% outgoing damage.
I think like a refresher.
Yeah, pretty scary against a level 24 Mirana with all these items. Dude, those illusions would be hitting so hard. Same with the DK illusions.
It's just hard to hit them since they have BKB and
that's true.
since they're ranged.
Mirana's BKB is only at 8 seconds. So she's been very selective about using it. DK's, I think, is pretty low now. Yeah, his is down to 4 seconds. But, yeah, the Mirana in particular, she is rough to lock down. It will be a pretty quick Roche respawn. Only about 40 seconds now. So there will be another Aegis / cheese available. Dire Courier is scouting it out already. I think Earthspirit will grab it and then just make a push for that final lane of racks. Unless Revenge, 5-man smoke. Could this be the all-in final Hail Mary push? Tiny doesn't have enough gold for buyback. Shadow Fiends is on cooldown. He did pick up the Daedalus. They want Roche, Merlini. They want this. They need this.
Smoke gets popped. They know what. They know what's up. They have to contest this though. They don't have any buybacks.
Yeah.
Wait, did they have buyback on Tiny? No.
Nope. Not enough gold. He bought the
Radiant's
Daedalus.
Oh, he went in right before it finished. Oh.
No, literally seconds before. Now he gets hexed. There's the shackle. A lot of damage coming out. Team support inbound, but will it be enough? They just stun out Mystico, so he can't get off the defensive disruption. They even burn wards for this. Oh, no. Disruptor also gets picked off around the backside while we were watching that by the Shadow Shaman, or pardon me, by the Centaur.
This should just be GG.
Yeah, this is over. This is a 3-0 before Roche. Now the Tire don't even need to kill Roche. He's back up, but...
If Tiny had buyback, maybe they can hold, but no. The hard lockdown from Shadow Shaman is too strong. The blink initiate on BKBs.
It was
without
also
defensive
just,
disrupts.
I mean, face checking the...
You know,
the
if
pit
Shadow
like that.
Demon had a blink there, things would have been different. Or 4-staff.
Yeah. Was a nice read from Relic to throw out the Dragon Tail, though, to stop
Yes.
the disruption from coming
That
out.
was nice.
Could have been a potential turnaround if Tiny got that reset. Would have been rough. Still grasping at straws, but either way, pointing out those nice plays when we can. There's the GG from Revenge. Masoku taps out, and...
They did a really good
GG
job of shutting
amigos
down
from Goody.
Smash.
Yeah, they really did. Smash he was picked on nonstop. I mean, those roaming supports, like you mentioned, it was risky having 2 roaming supports. You have to get kills to make that worth it, but they did just that. Shadow Shaman was like 2-0-2 in the first 6 minutes or so. Rather impressive.
So now that looks like they are eliminated from, or they're pretty much can't make it to playoffs, which means I guess you're eliminated from qualifier, which is unfortunate. So Revenge, Shadows of the Past, no Earthspirit, Isurus probably not going to make it, and we have 4 teams that are kind of on the fence. Top 5: Union Gaming, CMB, and eHug. And I think top 5 has the hardest schedule of them, so I'll just notch them out. So down to UNB, CMB, Union, CMB, and Team eHug. So that DQ win, man.
That DQ win is actually going to come into play.
Yeah.
Union, the thing about Union, though, is they have hard matches coming up, I believe,
They
right?
do?
I think so. Well, they had easy matches the first day. I don't know who they've had to play so far today. I could probably look at it on the schedule here. But they definitely have gone through most of their easy games.
So CMB eHug, I don't know if that's happening now. Let's check. So
there
are other
no,
streams
it's not.
right now.
That's the CNB eHug is the last match on this stream today.
top 5 Isurus. Wow, 45-minute game. Looks like Isurus may actually win. Maybe.
That could be big. So that's it for Revenge, though, as Merlini already mentioned. Sad times for
pretty
them.
much it.
They'll have a few more games to play, but no way they can make the top 4.
A lot of people were
Bummer.
excited that Smash might make it a TI4, but
Would have been exciting.
not this
but
year. Not this TI. Dude, Isurus
maybe
might
next
win.
year.
Tune into the other match.
Yeah,
though.
guys. What stream is that on? Is that BTS?
It's What Is Hip?
Top. Oh,
It's
What Is
high
Hip?
ground.
Yeah, guys. Head over to the NA Hub, Twitch, or just go to BeyondTheSummit.tv. That'll take you to the hub, or go to High Ground TV on Twitch, and the top 5 Isserus game.
There's
Looks like
also another one.
it's
Shout out
close
to
to the
past
end.
CNB, but that was
Yeah, the
only-
top 5 Isserus is a little more important right now. So, all right, what's coming up next here on this stream, guys? Upstairs studio.
Who cares? Because we won't be on here.
Yeah, it'll be Revenge top 5. It's AC and Gods that'll be up here, and now I'm heading downstairs for some camera work action. That's where I'll be for the rest of the day.
I'm casting off your camera
I
work.
think.
Man, this day just keeps getting worse and worse.
You're casting my camera?
I'm
Uh-oh.
just kidding.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
No.
wow, 4 games in a row. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
playing
I need a
Yo.
lunch break. All right, well,
Oh yeah, we need to eat.
yeah, so we're going to take a break. These next matches start, what's the timer here?
It's 120.
120? All right, so we've got about half an hour, is that
No,
right?
it's only one.
1?
We have
God,
18
We've got
minutes.
10 minutes.
18.
What,
10?
12:50?
What? I
All
thought
right, yeah, we're
someone
taking
said
a break, guys.
12:42. Okay.
12. All right.
Just
Either
go.
way, we're taking a break, guys. I'm Zayori. That's Merlini. This is the upstairs stream. It will be Gods and AC taking over. Oh, look, there he is. He's gonna come and inhibit the stream here, guys. They'll be back. Gods and AC coming up next here on BTS2.
Inhibit the stream?
Inhibit. I don't know.
Inhabit the stream?
Inhabit. That's the. Damn it, Merlini.
Inhibit means to. Wow.